Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And in today's video we're going to be talking about the Jaclyn Hill palette. You know I had to pick my hand, you know I had to pick this up. So this palette retails for $38. Usually Morphe palettes are within I think close to 22 or 25, around there. So you do get this box, and on the back it just has her pictures and pretty much a description. Comes in bubble wrap. One thing that I did not get was that card that everybody got with the names of the eyeshadows. So the palette looks like this, and in the back it just says Morphe times Jaclyn Hill, and it has little JH's all over the palette. And when you open it, you get that plastic thing that you always get, and it says this palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers, XO Jaclyn. So the palette does look like this. Honestly, I'm gonna be very real and honest in this video, and if you do not like what I have to say, that's perfectly fine, but these are just my opinions and what I think. For $38, I will say the shadows do feel different from different palettes, from different Morphe palettes, but one thing I do not like, I don't like the fact that this is cardboard. I mean, other Morphe palettes that I have, I can show you right now, are plastic. And I don't know, I kind of like the plastic feel to it better. Like right here, this is the 350M palette, which is the all matte palette. And one thing that I was kind of iffy about was the fact that I know Jaclyn Hill is all about her warm shadows, but one thing that I thought was gonna be different was the shade selection. Her favorites palette, there was a lot of warm colors in there, so I thought there was gonna be like different colors, I guess, and the only ones that are different is just these 4 colors, which is 3 shimmers and 1 matte, and it's just a purple, blue, and a light blue, and then kind of like blue to match the pool party blue. So, and one thing is I feel like this palette is kind of similar to this palette, minus those 4 colors in the corner. That is just my opinion on what I think of the palette. That is just my thoughts on what I think of the palette. I'm not saying it's a beautiful palette. I'm just saying, for the price point and for the fact that if they were gonna add names to this palette, why weren't the names underneath instead of a card that I didn't even get? So that's probably my biggest pet peeve of the palette. Alright, I'm not gonna swatch every single color. I'm just gonna honestly swatch the colors that I like. So these are the colors right here that are speaking to me. I want to say these 4 are probably my favorite, but I really like this kind of like pinky champagne color. Then we have like dark pink, and I'm living for this red. If you guys don't know by now, I am definitely a warm tone kind of girl. I'm all about the warm tones for shadow looks. So price wise, I think for the amount of shadows, it is different. It is definitely a different quality than the other regular Morphe shadows, because I did dab into my 350M palette and my other shimmer palettes that I have, and I swatched them, and there is a big difference. So I do think my only issue for the price range is that they could have added the names in. The packaging to me is a little cheap for $38. And it gets messy really quickly. I don't know if you can see that, but it's kind of getting messy already, and all I've done so far is swatched it. But we gonna roll with it. So as I was doing, buffing that into the crease, I'm literally like just dabbing it in, and it is so pigmented. So pigmented. Jeez, I barely have to pick up any product. Oh, and your girl needs to do her brows. And just so you guys know, I actually was not going to film a review on this palette, but I posted a picture on Snapchat that I got the palette, and so many people requested that they wanted a video on it, so I was like, fine. I really wasn't gonna do a review because so many people have the palette and have done reviews already, so it's like, eh. Next I'm gonna dip my brush into this shade right here, which I feel like that shade kind of resembles a shade in her favorites palette. I don't know if that's just me or what. I'm just gonna like mix those two colors together, and I'm just really buffing this into the crease and mixing these colors together. The next brush I'm going to take is my M433 brush, and I'm going to dip it in to this shade right here. Just a little bit. Ooh, that's pigmented. And I'm going to start putting this in the crease. I barely put anything on my brush, and it's coming out so pigmented. So I'm gonna go back in with that brush that I used, those two shades, and I'm just gonna mix those shades together and add them in on top, because I feel like they're getting washed away a little bit. Now I'm gonna go in with this M506 brush. It's a very tiny crease brush, and I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is like the darker red, and I'm gonna add this. And I need to look down when I'm doing this, so that way I can feel where my eye socket is, because I do not have a very defined crease. I'm just gonna add some more. I'm actually gonna mix those two reds together. And I'm actually gonna go back in with other brush that I was using and start buffing this into the crease better. Go back in with that first transition shade. Lightly dust that here. I'm gonna wet my brush just because I always wet my brush. And Jaclyn did say that these shadows will perform better if you wet your brush. And I'm gonna take that dark blue shade. Oh my god. I just wanna zoom out real quick how pigmented that is. I don't know when we stopped recording, but at some point we stopped recording. All I did was go in with that blue shade. I'm gonna attempt to do a wing with this blue. Wish me luck. I'm gonna do a smoky. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that red. I'm gonna take that big fluffy brush, blend away. And fix that wing. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that color Pool Party and I'm gonna add it right on top of this blue, but only in the center. And what I'm gonna do is try to start blending those colors together. I think these colors together look stunning. I'm just gonna dip into that first white shade to highlight the brow bone. I'm going to add on some mascara, finish the rest of my face, and I will be right back. Alright, and we are back. I added foundation, concealer, my contour, my bronzer, blush, and next I'm going to do highlight. And I didn't think it was fair if I didn't use Jaclyn Hill's highlighter with Becca. Such a stunning highlighter. I'm going to go back into the eyes, which is the final step. And I'm going to take my Royal and then nickel brush. And I'm gonna mix those two transition colors, which was like the light brown and the yellow color. Flat definer brush. It's by Luxie, and I'm gonna mix those two red shades. Those shades together. Some highlight in my inner corner, and I'm gonna take those two white shades and mix them together. Bam! Such a stunning nude color. My final thoughts on the palette. Do I think the Jaclyn Hill palette is worth it, especially for the price point? I think in my opinion it is worth it. You get a wide variety of shadows. You can do so many different looks in here. I think it's purple that they added a black in here. The pigmentation on these shadows is just amazing. And the only thing that I do not like is that it is cardboard, and I wish that they would have added the names on here instead of that card, which I did not get. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my channel, and bye guys. And get to rolling, rolling, rolling. And I just poked myself in the eye.